Welcome, everyone. This is Lewis from outer space. That's right. I am straight up from outer space, bringing you drone news. We're checking out what's going on. I'm at another planet right now. Let me actually back up a little bit. There we go. How's everyone doing? How's everyone doing, folks? It's World War Drone. It's World War Drone. Decided to go on camera today, working on some stuff in my studio. How's the sound quality? Does it sound good? I'm doing well. I'm doing well. Let me know how the sound quality is, Fuzz. Crazy Tammy. Marla, what is up? Jalissa in the house. Sounds great. Sounds good. That's what I want to hear. What planet am I in? Krypton. Since Superman, the trailer, was released, I'm on the planet Krypton. Getting to the bottom of things with the drones, attack of the drones, folks. Hey. So what's going on? What's going on, everybody? Who got notified? Did everyone get notified? Let me know if this pesky notification thing's working. Yay or nay? What is going on? I'm on the vertical theme right now to get a little bit of a different audience. This actually brings in a different audience. Everyone got notified? Notifications going out, folks. Have you guys been following the drones situation? The attack of the drones? Yeah, remember, what we're doing here is special. What we're doing, a lot of people are covering this, but what we're doing different than a lot of outlets is we are doing this. We are switching one word out of a movie title, replacing it with the word drone or drones. Star Wars Episode 2, Attack of the Drones. Indiana Jones and the Last Drone Crusade. Stuff like that. Raiders of the Lost Drone. Drones to the Future, Attack of the Killer Drones, stuff like that. So we want to continue that tradition as people come in. The drone saga continues. A lot of BS out there. A lot of people calling BS on the drones. A lot of people calling BS on the drones, thinking that people who see the drones are dumb. I don't know why people have to start to insult others. It's very, very strange to me, but we're getting reports. Oh, my camera fell. Ah! Holy shit. What was that? Hold on, folks. All right. That's the thing. You gotta clip that, someone. That was nuts. Let me tighten the camera here. All right. That was a good laugh. Come on. You gotta... That was a good laugh, folks. Hey, if you like what you're seeing, and look, what else is there? Yeah, the black hole. Am I okay? No, I fell. Not just kidding. The camera fell, not me. So if you like what you're seeing, folks, there's a subscribe button on the top right-hand corner. If you are on your phone or tablet or whatever it is, I would really, really, really appreciate you all coming on in there and supporting. Let's go over a briefing that happened a few days ago. We never went over this one. Let's check it out, what this lady has to say. Let me know in the comments if you could hear her.
To Japan for his fourth official visit to build on historic progress made among our Japanese allies and U.S. military stationed in Japan. From meeting sailors aboard the USS George Washington to meeting with
get to
Prime
the
Minister
drones right now. Let me know if you can hear it.
This final trip was an important opportunity for the Secretary to engage on a wide range of defense activities across the alliance, to include ongoing efforts to upgrade U.S. Forces Japan to a joint force headquarters, marking one of the strongest improvements in our military ties with Japan in 70 years. We have long said that the U.S.-Japan alliance is the cornerstone for peace and security in the Indo-Pacific. And on his final trip to the region, Secretary Austin saw firsthand that the military alliance in cooperation with INDOPACOM and other DoD partners.
Ahead of a potential launch.
Here we go.
There were some senior U.S. officials earlier today.
Report to the overall concept for the future Guam defense system. A
don't
release
like
with
her?
additional details on the event is available on the Missile Defense Agency website. And with that, I'd be happy to take your questions.
All right,
Laura.
let's comment on the
Sabrina,
questions. folks.
I want to ask first about Ukraine. There were some senior U.S. officials earlier today who warned that Russia is close to firing another Oreshnik intermediate range ballistic missile. Can you confirm this? And also, why do you think the U.S. is kind of putting this out there now ahead of a potential launch?
Well, so Putin has said publicly that Russia intends to launch another experimental Oreshnik missile, as you mentioned.
Oh my God!
It's
not another
possible
one.
that Russia could do it in the coming days. I don't have an exact date for you. I think it's important to note that should Russia choose to launch this type of missile, it's not going to be a game changer on the battlefield. It's just yet another attempt to inflict harm and casualties in Ukraine. We've seen this before. They're trying to use every weapon that they have in their arsenal to intimidate Ukraine.
What
but
about
of course,
drones?
Ukraine, with the United States, other partners around the world, continues to have our support as they, fight every single day on the battlefield.
Has Ukraine asked for any additional defenses given Russia's saber rattling on this missile?
Ukraine's priority defenses one of them remains air defenses, and that's something that we continue to flow to Ukraine, whether it be through USAI packages, like you saw the secretary announce at the Reagan Defense Forum, nearly $1 billion.
She'll get to the drones, I promise.
And then, of course, through presidential drawdown
Spider-Man, no way
packages. So
drones.
air defense is one of those priority requests, and we're continuing to honor that in our commitments.
And then on Syria, just one quick one. Are U.S. forces still doing partnered operations with SDF? And how has
the drones.
all of the different changing dynamics in the north affected those operations?
So there's been no change to our partnership with the SDF when it comes to ensuring the defeat of ISIS. I don't have recent partnered raids to speak to, but you did see over the weekend Central Command take strikes against ISIS camps and leaders in the Badia Desert. But there's been no change to our work or partnership with SDF forces. We continue to work with them. General Kurilla, our Central Command commander, was actually in the region engaging with his counterparts. So that work remains ongoing. Jen.
Sabrina, can you tell me what the Pentagon is doing to address this issue of drone sightings?
Here we go. Drone question number one.
Installations, the FBI is involved. What is the Pentagon doing?
Sure. So
what
at
are they
this
doing?
time, aware of those drone sightings that have been reported, at this time, we have no evidence that these activities are coming from a foreign entity or the work of an adversary. We're going to continue to monitor what is happening, but at no point were our installations threatened when this activity was occurring.
Then why'd they shut
Rule
down
out that these are American drones or U.S. military drones?
These are not U.S. military drones. Again, this is
Well, we
being
don't know what
investigated
they
by
are.
local law enforcement. What our initial assessment here is that these are not drones or activities coming from a foreign entity or adversary.
Representative Jeff Van Drew,
Who's not
a
buying it?
Republican from New Jersey, was just on the air saying that Iran launched a mothership probably about a month ago that contains these drones, and that mothership is off the coast of the east coast of the United States. Is there any truth to that?
There is not any truth to that. There is no Iranian ship off the coast of the United States, and there's no so-called mothership launching drones towards the United States. Phil.
Just a few questions really quick on Syria. Did General Kurilla speak to Secretary Austin before or after his trip to Syria? Can you give us any details about what he accomplished, if anything, on that trip? And then also on Syria, Reuters is reporting that the Syrian rebel leader Al-Gulani has said he's going to work with international organizations to secure chemical weapon sites in Syria. I'm wondering whether the U.S.
Good
has
questions
reached
in the
out
chat.
to him and whether there's going to be any contribution of U.S. intelligence to ensure that they have those sites secured.
So as you mentioned, General Kurilla is in the region. I believe Central Command did put out a readout of what he's doing. He was in Syria and Iraq and is continuing travel throughout the region, I think through the week. I will say that, like any combatant commander. They're regularly in touch with the secretary and with OSD. So we remain in close contact as he continues his
Get
travels
the
in
lights
the
up,
region.
folks.
In terms of your question on chemical weapons, it's something that we are certainly focused and concerned about, and the potential use of chemical agents falling into the wrong hands in Syria. That work is really being done through other partners. We here at the department are trying to make sure that those do not fall into the hands of bad actors, but the work on the ground is being done through other partners, not through the United States.
Just to follow up then, so has the secretary spoken with General Kurilla since the fall of Damascus? And does this rebel leader's assurances?
Are you all buying these excuses?
Give you any comfort, or are you or having this group say they're going to secure them? Not is it a problem for the United States given its
Yeah, they
position
picked the
on this
wrong
group?
state.
Yeah, of course, the secretary has been in regular touch with General Kurilla post fall of the Assad regime. In terms of what this leader is saying on the ground about chemical weapons, I mean, these are good things. We welcome this type of rhetoric, but actions have to meet words as well. So we're going to continue to work with the groups that we have relationships with. Again, our focus is that these chemical weapons do not fall into the wrong hands. Yes, yeah.
Thank you very much, Sabrina. Can you confirm that the SDF shot down a US MQ-9 Reaper on Monday?
I do know that an MQ-9 did go down in the region, but I believe it's being investigated, so I can't confirm.
How's about this? The drone, the bad and the ugly. How's about that for a name for a movie?
The cause of why it went down.
Who could it be?
Again, we're looking into that. When we have more information, we'd be happy to provide that.
Separately, or more like on the same subject,
Sure.
but do you know, to your knowledge, that did the United States provide SDF with anti-aircraft capabilities?
I'm not going to speak specifically to all the capabilities that we provide the SDF. It's we work with them when it comes to the defeat ISIS mission. That's something that's ongoing. And as I mentioned to Tara, it's our mission of why we are in Syria, but I'm just not going to get into more specifics on that.
Just one last question,
Yeah,
if
how many
possible.
questions?
So you've been through different
Guy.
channels, not just the Pentagon, but also different institutions. You've been asking Ankara to halt opening any new fronts and halting any new offensive against the SDF. Do you feel that those calls have been successful?
The Lion, the Witch, and the War Drone.
Blinken is also
That
headed
would've
to
been-
Ankara. I know
you
that's
gotta
not
do
your
it.
institution, but how hopeful are you that
Don't look up.
those talks are going to
Drone,
be
look up.
fruitful or be successful in stopping any kind of new offensives against SDF?
Look, we have a great
Drone alone.
relationship with our
too.
Turkish counterpart, or counterparts, I should say, throughout the administration. As you mentioned, we have the Secretary of State going to the region, I think this week, or if not today. Secretary Austin engaged his Turkish counterpart earlier this
How's
week.
about
So the
droning-
conversations are
droning
ongoing.
to electric
Understanding that the
boogaloo?
dynamics on the ground in Syria are dynamic, and Turkey certainly faces threats from within Syria, and they have the right to also protect themselves. But that's why we're continuing to have these conversations, not just with Turkey, but with other stakeholders in the region when it comes to Syria. Natasha.
Thanks, Sabrina. So going off of that, I mean, the fighting between the Kurds and the Turkish-backed groups obviously has raised some concerns about the security of the ISIS facilities and camps, the facilities holding ISIS members and their families in northern Syria. So how confident are you all that those facilities are secure? Have any of them been overrun at this point?
Well, the facilities that you're
James,
referring
the
to
giant
are,
drone.
I mean, they're pretty far apart from where these rebel groups are asserting their power, like
Love
in
that,
Damascus and the northwestern side. We're in the northeastern part of Syria where those camps are. So those the prisons remain secure and under SDF control. I'm not tracking anything that's been overrun.
All of the prisons remain under SDF control.
Yeah. That, as far as I'm aware, are you about to tell me that I'm incorrect here? No, I mean when it comes to the defeat ISIS
You just got
mission,
pissed off at that
that
question or what?
is enduring. That's something that we're continuing to work with SDF. Those prisons remain in control. Constantine.
Thanks, Sabrina. So going back to the drone.
Drone
the
question.
Shutdown. So on Monday, you said that you guys aren't working on a formal deconfliction channel with HTS, the folks running the show in Damascus. does this incident put more urgency behind having some sort of formal communication channel?
Well, we're working through groups and partners that do have relationships with HTS. So we have ways of communicating messages. Again, of course, we want to work towards any deconfliction, especially our number one priority. And I think the Secretary spoke to this earlier today is U.S. forces in the region, and then to ensure that enduring defeat of ISIS, which is the mission set of why U.S. forces are in Syria. But again, we have ways of communicating with HTS through different back channels, just not going to go beyond that.
Pivoting slightly then, I mean, would it be fair to say that this incident underscores sort of the chaotic nature of the situation in Syria, and that U.S. assets and troops are in greater danger now than they were before the fall of Damascus?
No, I wouldn't say that. I think it's an ever-changing, ongoing, dynamic situation that's happening in Syria. I mean, we just had a regime change and completely toppled.
The droning man.
Of course, that
One flew
presents,
over the drones.
I mean, as we've said, great opportunity and also great risk. But when it comes to U.S. force posture in the region, there's been no
drones
change in
encounters
our
of the
force
third
posture.
kind.
Our forces, General Kurilla was just in the region. We're going to do everything that we need to protect our forces there and to ensure that a terrorist group like ISIS
Mike, let
doesn't
Christian
take advantage
Harloff,
of this
that Nerd
moment
Report's reporting
and
on
seek
it
to
too. Have
move
him
back
come on.
into that, to the Damascus area and remain in a place where they are significantly degraded and diminished, and that remains our
the drone.
focus.
So just to be clear,
Sure.
The downing of the drone is not an indication that U.S. forces are under greater danger than they.
I would not look into it like that.
Okay, check this out. Drones are not dangerous, according to these people, if they're flying over the U.S., but drones are used for military weapons overseas. How does that make sense? So they use drones to fight wars, but if they fly over the U.S. or your house, nothing to look at here, move along.
That, Janie.
Thank you, Sabrina. Excuse me. A couple of occasions on South Korea, United States, and North Korea. Is the Defense Secretary Austin canceling his visit to South Korea due to chaos of the lack of a counterpart?
I think we spoke to this, Janie. The Secretary did postpone his visit to the Republic of Korea, just given recent events. Again, he continued to the region. The ROC remains we have an incredible relationship with our counterparts there, and that's going to endure. But right now, the Secretary is wrapping up his trip to Japan. He's coming back. It was his 13th visit to the region. I think you can see the amount of emphasis that this administration and this department has put on the Indo-Pacific.
Is a normal cooperation between South Korea and United States currently working?
Yeah, cooperation conversations continue on.
Folks, help us reach our subscription goal. On the top of your tablet or phone, there's a subscribe button. The top to the right. Subscribe to Nerd Report. The button says subscribe. Let's do it. Let's get 5 more people subscribe. Let's go.
Does the United States ally have forced to eventually...
Looking at drone memes?
Well, I think, and you've certainly seen, there's an ongoing democratic political process that's playing out in the Republic of Korea. Certainly wouldn't want any actor to take advantage of that. We have to let that process play out. What we're focused on, what the Secretary has emphasized, is the deepening of cooperation between Japan, between the ROC, between other Indo-Pacific partners, which is why you saw the Secretary embark and return from his 13th visit to the region. Yeah.
Thank you, Sabrina. You always mention that you are supporting the SDF against any ISIS threat in the region. Now, all the other parties, the opposition forces, are against Daesh, and they fought Daesh in the past years. Now, there were some clashes in Manbij, and the SDF retreated from there, saying that the U.S. mediated for them. Who did you mediate with, and what would be your position in the future in any other confrontation between any other group with the SDF?
So I'm sorry, what is the question about ISIS, or is it about the Manbij region?
It's the Manbij region, since the SDF and the forces there were not fighting Daesh or ISIS. They were
That's it,
fighting
Wendy. This is
actually
the best channel. Thank
infighting
you.
between these two groups on Manbij. So they retreated with saying that the U.S.
No,
mediated
why
in
did the
their
7
behalf.
drones?
So what would be your position in the future in similar situations when SDF comes and fronts some other Syrian groups, not ISIS?
So, there's a number of stakeholders in the region. We continue to work with our Turkish counterparts to, urge for any de-escalation or confrontation in that region. Our assessment right now is that SDF is not operating in the Manbij area. We're focused on the mission, which is why we are in Syria, to continue that enduring defeat of ISIS. That's what we partner with SDF on. Appreciate the question, but I'm just not going to get into more details about that area.
Another thing, like in the same area that's controlled by the SDF right now, there is a specific territory which is, according to dual agreements between the Syrian and Turkish government, is a Turkish ground, actually, Süleymanşah in Karakozak area, the right eastern shore of the Euphrates.
Hey, everybody, welcome to new subscribers. We got a bunch of new subscribers right now. Thank you so much. Like 3 new people have subbed. Guys, don't forget to sub. Thank you.
ISIS threat to the historic side. So now, is there a way to go back to normal? And do you follow anything about this?
Trying to follow the thread of the question here. Again, we're going to continue to engage with Turkey. We have our Secretary of State traveling to the region. General Kurilla is in the region. These are ongoing conversations. And of course, we understand the threats that Turkey faces and, our partners in the region. I'm just not going to shed more light than what I've said already.
Oh,
Tom.
come on. Say something.
Yeah. Thanks, Sabrina. The readout that you did at the top between Secretary Austin and Minister Katz, you talked about ceasefire implementation with Lebanon. I don't think you said anything about possibility of new ceasefire talks in Gaza.
I'm sorry?
New ceasefire talks for Gaza. Was there
I'm sorry. I was just giving a very top line summary. That's why I said a more fulsome readout is coming.
Minister Katz said that there was a discussion of there's a chance at the moment for a new deal that hopefully leads to the release of hostages. So
the Secretary and Minister Katz did
A lot of
discuss the ongoing
these,
situation in Gaza. I mean, the Secretary always impresses
members are
upon
not
his
Americans,
counterpart
so
the
they're
need
not asking
for
about
a
the drone.
ceasefire. I mean, one of the things that this administration continues to push for is the release of hostages. We still have Americans that are held hostage. Again, we should have a more fulsome readout coming. But one of the other things that the Secretary also emphasized is the need to get more humanitarian aid into Gaza.
Thanks. And then on the situation in Syria, are there any DoD personnel in any capacity currently in Damascus or any other places where the prisons, involved in any sort of search for Austin Tice or anyone else like that?
So there are no DoD personnel. There are only DoD personnel in the areas that we operate, which are part of the continued de-ISIS mission. In terms of Austin Tice, I don't have a U.S. role or military assistance to speak to today. Of course,
as we wait for real answers, folks, don't forget the game we're playing with the drones. Replace one word in a movie title with a drone, with the word drone. Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom, like that. Or you could you could do it to a movie, a TV show, or a person's name. Let's go.
Thank you, Sabrina. On recent Secretary's trip to Japan, could you please elaborate on the development related to discussions on upgrading the alliance command and control? And also, before the presidential transition, does the Pentagon plan to announce any specific direction or decisions on U.S.-Japan command and control issues?
I can't speak to future announcements, even though we still have a few weeks to go before the transition takes place. I'm not aware of any more announcements coming, but I'm not going to rule it out either. In terms of the relationship with Japan and the upgrading of those headquarters, I think you've heard us speak to that and what we're going to do. But that is a phased approach. It's it's going to take some time to continue to upgrade that joint force headquarters. Jeff.
Thanks very much. 2 questions. One, with the airstrikes that CENTCOM and the U.S. carried out against ISIS in central Syria on Sunday, is there any updated assessment of who you hit, what you hit, how badly damaged ISIS is as a result. And then some Syrian Kurdish officials have said that since Golani, HTS, and the other rebels began their campaign and ultimately ousted the Assad regime, that they have seen an uptick in ISIS activity and in ISIS attacks and plotting. What is the Pentagon seeing from ISIS right now?
We have some updates
as
for the
you fear
drones.
that it will
folks.
try to take
Specifically,
advantage
we're
of
going to
the
go through some
situation?
articles.
Well, that is what we've been saying, is that we are concerned that ISIS would use the dynamics and the ongoing situation on the ground in Syria to try and take advantage of that, which is why we did what we did on Sunday. We at approximately 5 locations, we hit 75 targets with a number of different airframes and platforms to take out capabilities that ISIS would use, or we thought they could use, to try and take advantage of the situation that's unfolding on the ground. In terms of ISIS plots and planning, I mean, ISIS still remains a threat. I don't have anything to speak to in terms of an uptick of attacks, but you saw us take pretty significant action over the weekend, and we've been doing that, pre the fall of the Assad regime, and we're going to continue to do that as Syria goes through this transition political process.
Is the assessment then that those airstrikes have in fact deterred ISIS, at least since Sunday, of carrying out more attacks?
Well, again, we're taking capability off the map for them. So, what they choose to do, that's for them to speak to. I can only speak to what we did. And in terms of, I'm sorry, and you asked about our ongoing assessment of how successful those strikes are.
People
our initial
talking about the
assessment is that they
wars,
were successful, and that we
and
did
they're
kill a
mixing it
number
in
of
with some of the
operatives, ISIS
drones,
operatives in the desert. But
New Jersey,
it's going to take some time to get you more fidelity on the strikes. Sure.
Follow up on
Hey,
that.
what's up,
What
Shelley?
is the U.S. military doing to protect the SDF from Turkey and Turkish airstrikes?
So continuing to have conversations with our counterparts. And while I won't speak to any hypotheticals, we're going to continue to engage the SDF. We have ways to deconflict, of course. And the secretary spoke recently to his Turkish counterpart, and I'm sure he'll continue to do so.
Thing on Congressman Jeff Van Drew, he says that the drones in New Jersey should be shot down. Is there any reason
Drone
not
question.
to bring down these drones to figure out what they are?
Well, that's a decision for local law enforcement. If a drone or any activity is a threat to military installations, they always have the right for self-defense, and they can engage.
Do regular civilians have the right to self-defense? And how do we know when it's self-defense or not? When if a civilian tries to defend themselves from a drone. So is she saying she's cool with taking down a drone?
To respond to any potential risks, but with some of the drone activity or activities that you're referring to, there was not a threat to any military installation, so they didn't feel the need to engage. Yes, in the back.
On those airstrikes over the weekend, categorically then you're saying that the US only targeted ISIS.
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Military assets. You did not target any Syrian military assets.
We target the strikes over the weekend that happened on December 8th, targeted an ISIS camps and leaders that were operating in the Badia Desert.
And since then, you're not targeting Syria.
I have no other strikes to speak to today.
What support is the Pentagon giving to Israel as it targets Syrian military assets and invades Syria?
So I would let Israel speak to its own operations. I think what you're referring to is the operations that they're conducting to eliminate what are threats to their security, which include, chemical weapons, missiles, rockets that were that the Assad regime controlled. They have legitimate security concerns. They have a right to self-defense. It is their own operations.
What are you giving them?
We're not giving them any support when it comes to those operations.
It's one thing you keep talking about. There's no change in the U.S. force posture in Syria. Under what legal authority, either international or national, does the U.S. have a force posture in Syria?
I'm sorry, what is the question?
Under what legal authority, either national or international, does the U.S. have a troop presence, a force posture?
We've had a troop presence and arrangement there for a number of years. Again, we continue to operate with the SDF to ensure the enduring defeat of ISIS. That has been our mission. That has been our mission from the very beginning. Jared.
Game of Drones.
again on the Syria situation. There are some reports that Turkey-backed rebels near Manbij and Kobani have been still launching artillery and drone attacks in the area, and I think Raqqa today was hit.
Remember, folks, drone attacks in the area. They're talking about the wars overseas and how drones are used to fight wars, to inflict damage. But if the drones are here, for some reason, no one cares. Is that weird? Let me know in the comments.
What the SDF said was a Turkish-backed drone attack. This is after the U.S. brokered the SDF withdrawal from Manbij, which the SDF is calling a ceasefire. I mean, how can the department ensure stability in eastern Syria and maintain security at the ISIS prisons if the department can't defend the SDF from SNA attack, or or can they? I mean, is OIR authorized to do that, or is this left up to the State Department right now?
The OIR mission and scope still remains to defeat ISIS mission. That is in coordination and working with the SDF on the ground, whether it be partnered raids or other engagement activities. It is a partnership with the S to ensure that ISIS can no longer resurge to the threat that they were many, many years ago.
It's weird,
again,
right?
I think I've answered this, but we're going to continue to engage with our Turkish counterparts. We're going to continue to work so that there is deconfliction. At the end of the day, though, the SDF is can speak to their own operations on where they're operating. We can only speak to our partnership with them when it comes to the de-ISIS mission.
And if I could just follow up, I'm
Drones
wondering,
are coming out of the
something
water.
reported earlier that a senior U.S. official told the SDF that the U.S. military cannot protect them if they do not withdraw from Manbij and relocate east of the Euphrates, that the U.S. cannot protect them in that area if they don't do that. Is that true?
Yeah, I can't confirm that. I'm not going to speak to an anonymous official's quote. Tara, and then I'll come.
Thanks. I just wanted to circle back to the Oreshnik missile.
Sure.
When U.S. officials discussed the potential launching earlier today, and you just discussed it at the podium, is that based on an intelligence assessment, or what's prompting kind of this early warning?
Yeah, this was based on an intelligence assessment that it's possible that Russia could use this Oreshnik missile in the coming days, and so they have used this type of capability before. I know you reported on it then. Again, I think the point of us getting out this information is to also ensure that this is not going to be a silver bullet change to the battlefield. The war is going to continue, and our support for Ukraine is going to continue.
Does that intelligence?
Folks, let me know what country, city, or state you are watching from in the comments.
I'm not going to be able to give you more details on that. Yes.
So commercial satellite photos came out yesterday showing that the Russian Navy vacated their base in Tartus, in addition to their military air base further south. Is there any concern from the building or from y'all that the Russian Navy and the Russian military writ large are going to develop some type of basing rights for those locations? Everything looked pretty intact when they left. Is there a concern that there's going to be a relationship with the Russian Ministry of Defense and the new regime in Syria going forward from the Pentagon?
Well, we don't know what the new path forward in Syria looks like. In terms of Russian assets, I mean, they just had one of their key political allies
watching from New Droning.
So their presence, their
Fuzz, that's the
political
best one.
prowess within the Middle East region is significantly reduced now that Assad is gone. We're seeing Russia consolidate assets, and to your point, some naval vessels leaving that area. Again, it remains to be seen what the path forward is in Syria. That is up for the Syrian people to decide. So I can't speak for what future relationships could look like, only to say that, with the fall of Assad, and Russia being continued to be pulled into this, continuing their fight in Ukraine. I mean, they are clearly at a loss, and they are clearly expending more material, more capability, more people on the battlefield, and losing their stronghold, which you just saw happen with the Assad regime falling.
I mean, but those facilities weren't sabotaged. Those airfields can be used. Those ports can be used. I mean, if it was a full exit, you would expect that you'd want to deny follow-on forces to be able to use that.
Well, you'd have to ask the Russians why they're doing what they're doing. I mean, what we're seeing is a consolidation of assets, including, some Russian forces leaving Syria. What they're doing with their facilities and bases, that's for them to speak to. Yeah.
Thank you, madam. Two quick questions. One, this is a Human Rights Week in Washington or around the globe. When U.S. military withdrew from Afghanistan, some agreements were made, promises were made by the Taliban to the U.S. and to the U.S. military, but they are not standing up
Drone
especially
James.
against women. What role do you think U.S. military is still playing there in Afghanistan to protect those behind, especially women?
I think it's pretty clear we don't have a military role in Afghanistan anymore.
And second, if there is any role, U.S. military role in Bangladesh?
I mean, other than, basic mill-to-mill ties. I mean, is there something more specific that you're asking about?
No, because there are atrocities going on against minorities in Bangladesh, and its situation is very bad over there.
Who are you going to call?
Yeah,
oh my
that
God.
would be, I mean, that's more diplomatic conversations and engagements than.
Heather, who are you going to call? Who are you going to call? Answer it in the comments. Who are you going to call? Drone busters all together.
Thanks, appreciate it. Just want to go back to the comments by Congressman Van Drew. Has the Pentagon spoken to him, or has any plans to speak to him? And is there any sense in the Pentagon that there's a frenzy, a hysteria here that's overblown?
When there's something floating in your neighborhood, who are you going to call? Drone busters.
To aircraft or something else?
Thanks, Howard, for the question. I mean, local law enforcement, FBI is conducting an investigation and looking into this. I mean, there's initial assessments are that these are drones and potentially, could be small airplanes. It could be a number of things that people are seeing and reporting. But again, that's, for the investigation to uncover. And so I just can't speak to that more. In terms of, a frenzy, I think it's completely right that people report these sightings and that there is an investigation into, what they are seeing. But I think what's also important to remember is that at no time were our military installations or our people ever under any threat. And if they were, of course, the base commanders have the ability to engage these drones if they do pose a threat. Can I just go one here? And
If you don't know what they are, how can you say they're not a foreign adversary?
This is the question. Hey, there's always a woman reporter. Female reporters are kicking ass here, right? I don't mean to be woke because I'm not, but I gotta point it out. Like 3 times already, there's always a woman just dropping a bomb with the question, like just straight to the fucking point. What is that? Dude, reporters, step up, man, or have me up there. I do good. Look at this question.
Can I just go one here? And
If you don't know what they are, how can you say they're not a foreign adversary?
Our initial assessment is that this is not the work of a foreign adversary or a foreign entity. That is our initial assessment. Yes, one more.
That's hilarious.
On the Osprey, which was reported
Got out
to
of it.
be grounded in the wake of a security concern. Could you share some latest development on the aircraft? And I'm also wondering how you are communicating with allies such as Japan, which has not resumed its operation.
So I think you've seen, each service makes their own decisions on when it comes to the Osprey. We remain, as a department, committed to ensuring the safety of our aircraft and our platforms.
Bravo, great question.
And we continue to underscore that value at every single level. I think the Navy, the Air Force, and Marine Corps all make different decisions about the Osprey, and some, have implemented an operational pause. For more information on that, I'd refer you to each service. Okay. All right. Thanks, everyone.
All right, folks, I gotta confess, we've got a lot more to cover. We're having fun here. I am obsessed with these drones. So I've started a tradition here that we are getting the entire community involved with. We're going to the chat and we're replacing anything. It could be a phrase. It could be a celebrity's star, a celebrity's name. It could be a movie title. It could be a TV title, replacing one word with drones. It could be a song. when there's something strange in your neighborhood, who are you going to call? Who are you going to call? There's something strange in your neighborhood. Who are you going to call? Drone busters. If there's something weird and it don't look good, who are you going to call? Ghostbusters. Yeah, that's right. I'm reading the lyrics. I have no idea how they go. So we got to go with that. Just have fun with it. He drone. All right. Let's look at this other. Let's watch this other one from yesterday. This one talks a little bit more about drones. Go over it. I got a lot more stuff. Just have fun in the comments, folks.
The department has conducted.
Could you guys hear this?
Planning and preparations for a potential shutdown, and our senior leaders have updated our contingency plans. Secretary Austin and DoD leaders are monitoring the situation closely and remain committed to.
And I have video drones. I have the latest
impacts that elapse
coming up.
in funding and
stay on. Drone
shutdown
busters. There you
would
go.
have on the department. In the event of a lapse in funding and a shutdown of the government, the Department of Defense will continue to carry out our fundamental responsibility and mission to defend our nation and the American people. Military personnel on active duty, including reserve component personnel on federal active duty, would continue to report for duty and carry out assigned missions worldwide to defend our nation and protect our national security interests. However, it's important to note that military personnel would not be paid until new funds are appropriated by Congress. Additionally, civilian personnel, including military technicians, who are not necessary to carry out or support accepted activities, would be furloughed with a lapse in appropriations. Objectively speaking, a lapse in funding will cause serious disruptions across the Defense Department and is still avoidable. Therefore, DoD urges Congress to reach a bipartisan, bicameral agreement on fiscal year 2025 appropriations and avoid a CR or worse, a government shutdown. Shifting gears, yesterday, the department submitted to Congress and published its annual report on military and security developments involving the People's Republic of China, commonly known as the China Military Power Report. This congressionally mandated report charts the current course of the PRC's national economic and military strategy. It also highlights insights into the People's Liberation Army's strategy, current capabilities and activities, and its future modernization goals. The CMPR illustrates why the 2022 National Defense Strategy identified the PRC and its increasingly capable military as the department's top 2019 and sailors aboard.
Here we go. Drone question.
Thank you, Pat.
Ready?
On Syria.
Oh.
Can you explain?
So that in and of itself, in terms of the additional numbers, as you know, over the years, that can fluctuate. Obviously, given the current situation in Syria, just very recently, I was made aware of the fact that, hey, maybe there's more forces than just a small number, or what would normally be considered, around the 900 range. So we asked to look into it. Got those numbers today. Significantly higher than 900, which is, again, why we wanted to let you know. Now, those forces.
Folks, we are approaching our subscription goal for the day, for the stream. Make sure you are subscribed. A lot of people are watching us on a tablet or a phone. Go up to the top. There's a button by the name Nerd Report. To your right, hit the subscribe. Do it. Let me know in the comments if you're new to the channel.
What they've been doing is all focused on the Defeat ISIS mission. And again, that core 900, approximately 900, those are going to be your longer term deployers, right? 9 to 12 months, as I understand it, versus temporary forces, which are going to rotate in on a 30 to 90 day basis, again, as it's been explained to me, that are there to meet any type of emerging mission requirements associated with the Defeat ISIS mission. Predominantly Army forces, and I'm not going to be able to provide a breakdown of conventional versus special operations forces, but all of those forces focused on the Defeat
we have some
mission.
updates. Stay tuned.
Again, as I understand it, a certain element of this also goes into diplomatic and operational security concerns as it relates to the region. But again, given the difference in the number that we've been providing, I made the decision to go ahead and give you that number. So
Just so I'm clear, are you suggesting this 1,100 is RIPTOA?
no, I'm not. I'm just saying that traditionally, as we track deployments, right, when we say approximately 900, sometimes that's going to fluctuate up to 1,200, 1,300 as units go in and out. But obviously, these numbers, the additional numbers, again, as I understand it, are considered temporary forces that are there to support the de-ISIS mission, to support the forces that are deployed there longer term. To include, I'm sure a certain element of that would be RIPTOA, but a lot of those forces are going to have already been operating there, coming in and out and doing those kinds of things.
How long?
Ann, thanks for the
I
gifted
don't
membership.
have a specific date provided.
Hit the hearts, folks, for Ann. Let's put those alien emojis up
clearly
for
before
Ann in the
fall of
comments.
the Assad regime. Yeah.
Thank you, Ann. You rock. Love you.
I don't have a number to provide, but
Kisses
again,
from space.
Double
Hearts
the
from
number of troops
space.
that we've been told for
Who's
quite
gonna
some
match
time.
Ann with
So
the
are we talking about
the
this has been going on
membership?
for months, for years? Is it something that just happened this summer? I mean, we need a time frame, I think, is fair.
yeah, I think it would probably be fair to say at a minimum months. I'll go back and look, but it's been going on for a while.
And what assurances can you give to the Kurdish SDF right now that the U.S. isn't planning to pull out or leave?
Well, right now we have no, there are no plans to cease the defeat ISIS mission. I mean, again, ISIS continues to maintain or to pose a significant threat. So right now, no plans that I'm aware of to stop that mission.
500 SDF have left their posts in terms of guarding the SDF.
How does this work? They
ISIS
could just
camps.
ask 100
Are US
questions.
forces
Like, it's
going to take
weird.
their places?
Well, our focus is, again, I mean, working with the SDF, but Jennifer, I don't have anything for you in terms of relocation of U.S. forces within Syria. Thanks. Sir.
Thank you. On Ukraine, how would a potential shutdown?
Has the number of troops that are currently in Iraq changed?
I will take that question and come back to you on Iraq. Okay. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Yesterday, Turkish defense officials emphasized that
Nuke the drone.
YPG disarms and
Man, are people asking? Are
foreign
we going to ask about the
parties
drones or what the?
maybe
But as for any potential future operations, I'd refer you
Hashtag
to-
ask about the drones.
support a large-scale operation by Israel, like in Lebanon. And
Yeah, I'm just not going to get into hypotheticals or speculate.
Israel is conducting almost daily controlled demolition of civilian infrastructure, houses in villages, Lebanese villages on the borders. The Lebanese government considers this as clear violation
Ask
of
about the drones.
ceasefire agreement.
Hashtag.
How do you assess this action by Israel? Do you have concerns that these actions might put the
I wanted to.
Who else thinks he's happy answering questions about foreign affairs, but doesn't like answering questions about the drones? Like, he looks annoyed.
Get you what we had on that.
Okay, and then can you give us an update on the ceasefire between the SDF and the Turkish-backed forces west of the Euphrates? Does DoD have any role in enforcing or upholding that?
To my knowledge, we do not, Jared. As
21 Drone Street is
State
great.
Department has been consulting, of course, with our Turkish partners, allies. My understanding, again, and State Department can go into much more details, is that that ceasefire is continuing to hold. It was extended, it continues to hold. Again, our forces in Syria are focused on the defeat ISIS mission. Obviously, we don't want to see fighting between SDF and Turkish-backed forces in Syria. Security and stability are incredibly important, particularly at this fragile time right now in Syria. And so, again, we would encourage all parties to preserve that peace and stability.
This guy keeps droning on me.
People of Syria.
Which one, though? Me or the guy? Which one? This guy keeps droning around.
Here again, real quick.
You said this guy keeps droning on and on, or this guy keeps droning around, like effing around?
Sure these
Dude,
people
where's
are
my
not in the
drone?
room. Jeff Shogel.
Thank you. Regarding Syria, can you say
Oh
why
my God, man.
Will U.S. troops get paid? Which
Folks, here's the deal. I think the situation with the wars is messed up. But the thing is, I don't remember ever a time in my life that there wasn't a war in the same area. Like literally, there's always a war in the same area, and it's awful, like straight up awful. So none of this is new to me. It's just honestly, it's a cut and paste, and it sucks. And I want to know about the drones in New Jersey because that's something new, at least, right? I mean, let's keep it a buck.
Appears to coincide.
Does anyone
with,
remember a
the
time
Christmas
where
and New Year's
there was
holidays.
peace
Okay,
in that
we'll come
area
back
in the
there,
Middle
Mike.
East?
Back to Syria, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said his forces are going to retain their positions along the Golan Heights that they took.
Yeah, this is the first time New Jersey's on the fucking news, man. We want to. New Jersey lives matter, man.
In Europe are criticized.
First time New Jersey's in the news a lot, front and center, and now we want to hear about it.
What I would tell you, Mike, is that our policy.
New Jersey has a more New York accent than people in New York. They have that yeah thing going on. Fuck you, Lois. They sound more New York than New Yorkians. Right?
With respect to the Golan Heights hasn't changed. And I don't have any comment on the announcement of people moving from inside Israel to the Golan Heights. What we've heard Israel say is that the deployment of its forces into that buffer zone is temporary, and we believe that the deployment ought to be temporary and that the 1974 disengagement agreement ought to be upheld. Thank you. Eunice.
Thank you, General. The U.S. says that Syria shouldn't be fragmented, the new Syria, the new
This is foreign
the new
press.
country,
I want to know
basically.
about American shit.
This is in the context timing of that, but certainly recognizing the fact that there is an urgent need right now in Ukraine, and we're going to remain committed to expending as much of that as we can.
I need to ask you too, and you don't know this answer, but I'd like you to get a written answer in terms of what will happen to the remaining dollars that are not put on PDA. You know, you're going to get a lot of criticism if you've got like $5 billion of authority that you didn't use by the end of the administration. And could you get a written answer in terms of what will happen to those dollars if, in fact, you don't obligate them?
I will take your question, but again, recognizing the difference between authority and obligated funds. But yeah, I'll take your question for it.
On the drone question,
Drone question.
You mentioned on Tuesday that counter drone systems will be deployed to New Jersey this week or next week. Have those systems been deployed, and what's the rule of engagement on those? And are those kinetic or fuzzbuster type of?
Fuzz. You got to mention. Are they fuzzbusters? Yo, don't send fuzzbusters to New Jersey, man. We love fuzz. All right. No fuzzbusters to New Jersey. Leave her alone.
Buster type of equipment.
Obligated funds. But yeah, I'll take your question for it.
On the drone question, I shudder to bring this up, but you mentioned on Tuesday that counter drone systems will be deployed to New Jersey this week or next week. Have those systems been deployed, and what's the rule of engagement on those? And are those kinetic or fuzzbuster type of equipment?
So the majority of that capability has deployed. The rest should be arriving very shortly, if not imminently. And as I highlighted earlier in the week, that will be a combination of active and passive detection capabilities, as well as some
exactly what's a fuzzbuster?
counter UAS capabilities, which would include non-kinetic types of systems like drone busters, right, which essentially disrupts signals and affects the ability of these systems to fly. Thanks very much. Kelly.
Just to follow up more a bit on drones, I just wanted to ask about the federal ban on drone operations in parts of New Jersey. The government, they say, may use, quote, deadly force against the drones if they pose an imminent security threat. Who would shoot them down if it...
How do you... Okay. How do you use deadly force against a drone? Can anyone explain how you can use deadly force against a drone? Drones are not alive. If you have a drone and it's manned, there's someone handling it, like there's a pilot, that's an airplane or a helicopter. It's not a drone. How do you use deadly force against an appliance?
If it came to it, would that be DoD assets?
So a couple things. So first of all, I would note that that is standard security language included in national security NOTAMs and temporary flight restrictions. So FAA certainly could talk to you more about that. And as you've heard us say, we're going to work closely with the FBI, DHS, FAA to make sure that we're harmonizing our on-base efforts with anything that they're doing off-base. And the bottom line is that our forces, our commanders, if they observe UAS activity that they believe represents a threat, they have the authority to conduct mitigation operations based on the capability at their location. And as I highlighted, one of those capabilities could be the non-kinetic, interruption of signals, for example.
Just talking about a potential government shutdown, how could that impact the efforts to detect and track drones and the efforts that you're doing right now?
Well, I mean, if it's, we're going to continue to do the operations, as I highlighted. Military personnel are going to continue to do operations necessary to protect and defend the nation. So in so much as we need to protect our facilities or mitigate potential.
Don't tell me that if there's a government shutdown, all of a sudden they don't have money for protecting the people in New Jersey. Give me a break.
Threats, we will be on point in doing that. So, okay, Jennifer.
Pat, it's clear that you were surprised by the number of U.S. troops that were in Syria, but was Secretary Austin also surprised?
I'm confident that the Secretary is tracking U.S. forces deployed around the world. Again, as I highlighted, there oftentimes are going to be diplomatic or operational security considerations.
Wait a minute, 59 likes? Folks, what are you all waiting for? Let's hit the likes, man. We need at least 100 likes. Let's go.
As it relates to the deployment of forces.
Just on that, did the Secretary direct people not to make that public?
No. Constantine.
I'm sorry.
No.
Just one other, just to clarify on this. Is 2,000 now seen as the amount needed, or is the department looking at any increases since things have been obviously changing over the last several weeks?
Yeah, so I'm not tracking any adjustments. Again, those additional forces there are again categorized as temporary transitional forces versus the 900, what I would call core official deployed forces. But as of right now, I'm not tracking any adjustment in that regard. Obviously, we'll see how things play out in Syria. We'll see how the Defeat ISIS mission works out. But yeah.
Just to follow up,
I'll get to you,
was the president aware that there were 2,000 U.S. troops in Syria?
I won't speak for the White House. Constantine.
Thanks, Pat. On the shutdown, is there, obviously we don't know how long it's going to go. And as you say, there's a paycheck that is due to troops in a week and a half. So I get my question to you is how long can the shutdown go for before those paychecks are impacted?
So really it's, again, I don't have an exact date for you.
30 drones.
The bottom line is, the end of the month. Today was payday. So, troops just got paid. So that next pay period at the end of the month, that would be, depending on how long this goes, that would be where individuals are not getting paid.
But I guess my question is, how quickly can DFAS be told, okay, there's funds, and turn around the paychecks?
Yeah, I'm going to shoot from the hip here. We're all monitoring this very closely. And as I highlighted, contingency plans in place. We're going to do everything we can to make sure our personnel are getting paid and taken care of as quickly as we can. So again, in a
fast times at Richmond drone
optimistic world, this shutdown could be avoided. But if it's not, we'll work to make sure that our personnel have what they need to mitigate the effects. So.
Thanks, Matt. Just one follow-up on Syria. Was there any effort by any element of the Pentagon or the Defense Department to obfuscate the true number of troops there? I mean, including CENTCOM, because you've stood up there, you've said 900. 900 has been the number for months and months, if not years. Surely someone...
He's literally answered like 3 questions that have to do with the
by
drone.
someone in the Defense Department that wasn't accurate. So what was the miscommunication?
Yeah, Natasha, look, again, learned the number today.
Talk about the drones
today, as I mentioned, and looking into this, part of the explanation is the sensitivity from a diplomatic and operation security standpoint. But again, given the difference in what we've been briefing and what the actual number is, just felt that it was important to get you that information.
Diplomatic sensitivity aspect of that?
No, I'm not, because I'm not going to get into diplomatic discussions, but, there's just diplomatic considerations. So, Janie.
Thank you, General. I have a few questions on South Korea and Russia. What is the U.S. view on this?
And brutally murdered more than 1,200 innocents. How we may enable this opportunity for the Syrian people to live in security and stability after 50 plus years under the Assad regime. But
So
again,
basically the FFA wants to ban drones.
so I don't have that level of granularity, so I'll just talk.
Pretty crazy, man.
It entirely could be, right? I mean, you could have forces that have a specialized capability that are already based in the AOR, and I'll just make this up. You're at Al Udeid Air Base.
About this?
No.
They have not spoken about this.
They have not spoken about this. Let me get to some folks that haven't had a question yet. Yes, sir. Please ask a news question and don't wax eloquently. I will stop.
Okay, sir. Pakistan former intelligence chief just got court-martialed for corruption. How do you see such generals and the extremism, the Taliban, the terrorism thing? Does it disappoint you when you see former colleagues face such charges?
That's really a question for the Pakistani authorities.
Thank you, guys.
And government. I'm not going to wade into Pakistani domestic.
Thanks for all the support,
politics.
folks.
Thank you. Let me go to the phone here. Just take a couple more. Howard Altman.
Are people calling in? Could I call in?
Hey, thanks, Pat. Appreciate it. I'm wondering, can you tell me whether there's been any additional force protection?
Can I call in?
Ramp ups at any facilities in the U.S. or OCONUS regarding drone incursions? Have any additional equipment counter-drone equipment been sent to any facilities beyond the ones you've already mentioned? Thanks.
Yeah, thanks, Howard. I don't have anything additional pass along. I'd refer you to Northcom to talk about any, additional facilities that they're looking at or, movement of equipment. And, obviously, as you well know, base commanders have the authority to take appropriate steps in terms of
hi, General. I have a question.
As it relates to anything. And so that's something that's done on a day-by-day basis. And not necessarily managed or tracked from here at OSD. But again, I'd refer you to Northcom. Yes, sir.
Thank you very much, sir. 2 questions, quick, please. One, if you are aware of U.S.-India space delegation here in Washington and any relations with...
Yeah, General, quick question. This is Lewis with Nerd Report. Look, man, there's about 50 U.S. Truck size, SUV size drones over my head, over my house right now. What should I do? Nothing to worry about? You can get these on Amazon? I've looked on Amazon, dude. They don't have these. Yeah. They have a symbol on the side that says F America. Should I worry about that? Is that a... One of them says, like, has a banner. It's flying over my house right now, and it's saying something like, wait, let me read it. Something about infidels. Should I worry about it? Nothing to worry about? What nationality am I? I'm Ukrainian. Oh, you're sending help right away? Thank you very much, sir. I'll be waiting. Thank you. That was a spoof, okay? It wasn't serious. Don't take it serious. Something about that. He thought it was. They thought it was from. That was a prank call. I didn't call anyone, so calm down. Yeah, he didn't care. I said, if I was from New Jersey, they certainly weren't going to come. They said they didn't care about New Jersey. Very weird. Very weird situation, folks. You know what's very weird too? God dang it. Is TikTok. So we're gonna go over some drone because I'm obsessed with drones. Drone sightings on TikTok.
Are these
what the
two drones? Wait.
How did I make the
Major step taken by the government in response.
How bizarre are these two drones? Wait.
Major step taken by the government.
What's going on there? Hold on.
How bizarre are these two drones? Wait. Something is.
What? Okay, one standing still. The other one could be a plane.
Look at those. They're like literally side by side.
Yeah, that's weird.
Just hanging there in the air.
Major step.
How bizarre are these two drones? Wait. Something is.
They are weird.
Crossing their.
That's what you saw, Fuzz?
Look at those. They're like literally side by side, just hanging there in the air.
Damn, I wish I could be in New Jersey checking those out.
Oh my
Could you hear the lady commentating or no, folks?
I thought they were going to collide. There's 3 of them now, I think. Like one there, one there, one there. And I hate the fact that I'm on my phone now because I wanted to just catch a better. Oh my goodness.
That is crazy.
Image of them. And I'm going to tell you guys something. And I will stitch that video to this one. My son and I looked out the window one of these days and we saw a drone. And all of a sudden the drone wasn't there anymore. And it
Right, this is some Art Bell shit.
there. And I went back to the camera, to our Ring camera, and because I thought it was crazy, and that happened on the camera too. So I'm gonna try to recover that image, and I will stitch it to this video.
Yeah, don't snitch,
Why
stitch.
do I keep on saying snitch? And it's still there. It's still there. Do you guys see that there is something under and something on top?
Yeah, that looks freaky, man.
And the other 2 disappeared. I'm speechless.
Yeah, I watch Art Bell all the time.
What is that? Whatever that is massive. Because we're at this.
That is weird, man. Look at that.
Here.
Wow. Look at how far she
And you
is.
can still see it from all the way back here. And it looks like there are orbs all around it, and it's crazy. I can't believe I'm witnessing this.
Her view is great. She could go viral. She is going viral on
Unbelievable.
on TikTok.
Look.
Fuzz has a couple of videos like that too.
From the camera, through the camera, I mean, I can.
It's a beautiful city, man. I didn't know New Jersey had such a nice.
It's not only one; there's several of them now, and they.
Yeah,
move
why can't they
really
tell what these are?
fast. And they are now to the right side of this drone.
Why can't they just?
Can
Can anyone use a binocular? What's going on?
Something right there.
That is too blatant. That is too blatant. That's just too blatant.
Now it's to the left. And it keeps on going to the left really fast. However, when I look at it with my naked eyes or through my naked eyes, I don't see those orbs there.
She's seeing orbs.
I really wish I had a better image of whatever it is that's flying.
That's just too that's too much to be ignored. And it's not explainable. Give me a break.
There's something else coming toward it.
I'm not buying it, man.
To the right of the screen. This has been going on for.
I'm not buying that these are not that they know what it is.
It's actually not going toward it. It's going.
That looks like a plane next to it, but
And nothing. Oh, disappeared. No, it came back. I think it was behind a.
no, I buy that this is happening, but I don't buy that they don't know that they know what it is.
I'm speechless.
I mean, look at how blatant that is. I could probably bust out of binoculars. If you're below that in the city, you must be able to have a clear view of the under.
I'm just like a stupid ass just standing here for a helicopter or something.
Uh-huh.
But because of all these crazy things that have been going on and these crazy orbs that are, surrounding these things, I don't know. I don't know what to think. I do not know what to think. And it's gone. It's not gone yet.
Yeah, they cracked down on. Bob has a good comment. Funny how they cracked down on small-time drone hobbyists, yet they're having trouble tracking down these huge ass drones. Yeah, a lot of it doesn't make sense, man. I know there's a lot of people that want to call people calling these out dumb. Like there's a group of people acting like they're smarter, they're too smart for the room, saying that if you question these, only people that question these are dumb people, right? Look at that. That one looks like a plane, though. It's making noise like a plane.
To that crazy thing over there. It's a lot of action going on here tonight. I'm not gonna lie. It's super entertaining. Okay. How bizarre are these two drones?
Actually,
Wait.
to be corrected, because people are asking about the face peelers, I was the first one on YouTube to report on the face peelers. If you were here, I was the first one to report on those.
Look at those. They're like literally side by side, just hanging there.
If you were here back then, have my back, because I do break a lot of stories that people break later, and then they want to give other people credit, which it just, I gotta call that out respectfully.
I thought they were going to collide.
Flower, I mean respectfully, because I was the first one to break that news.
One there.
In America, because it was already in being reported in South American news, obviously.
Just
Thanks, Mike Fisher, for having my back.
Oh my goodness.
I'm also the first person to say that Jay-Z is not guilty of at least this stuff. One of the accusers. I know there's people rooting for him to be guilty, and
stitch that video
but
to this one. My son and I looked out the window one of these
yeah,
days,
those of you
and
know.
we saw a drone, and all of a sudden the drone wasn't there anymore, and it disappeared in thin air. And I went back to the camera, to our Ring camera, and because I thought
She's got good video, folks.
happen on the camera too. So I'm gonna try to recover that image, and I will stitch it to this.
She keeps saying snitch. That's cool.
Why do I keep on saying snitch?
Give her some views, folks. Daniel Ledini's. Thank you for that video. It's great.
Do you guys see that there is?
All right, let's start it over again. Let's This is badass. It's obviously not. It's not what the ones are reporting. Obviously, Revenge of the Drones.
Holy shit! What the hell is that?
What is happening? You guys see this? Ma, you see this?
Holy shit! What the hell is that?
What is happening? You guys see this? Ma, you see this?
Yeah, but why would you turn the camera away, bro? Turns the camera away. It's like, leave it on. Sounds like a fly. I don't think that last one was real. This is real, but it's not. It's obviously it's a drone.
Can you comment on the drones that are flying around New Jersey ports? It seems like the American people have a big disconnect.
The government knows what is happening. Look, our military knows where they took off from. If it's a garage, they can go right into that garage. They know
Exactly.
where it came from and where it went. And for some reason, they don't want to comment. And I think they'd be better off saying what it is. Our military knows and our president knows. And for some reason, they want to keep people in suspense. I can't imagine it's the enemy, because if it was the enemy, they'd blast it out. Even if they were late, they'd blast it. Something strange is going on. For some reason, they don't want to tell the people, and they should, because the people are really, I mean, they happen to be over Bedminster.
We
Want to
shoot
know
them
the
down.
truth. They're very close to Bedminster. I think maybe I won't spend the weekend.
Do you think he went?
Breaking news, the New Jersey drone mystery is solved. According to an internal source, the drones are owned and operated by Disney. Apparently, Disney is looking to buy extensive land in the New
No, they're not, bro. Seriously? You think Disney's do you think Disney's behind these drones? Disney's behind everything nowadays, man. Do you think Disney's behind this?
New Jersey drone mystery is solved. According to an internal source, the drones are owned and operated by Disney. Apparently, Disney is looking to buy extensive land.
Is it for Snow White and the Seven Drones?
In the New Jersey area. They are planning to either build a new theme park or move Disney World from Florida up to New Jersey. The most likely scenario is to build a new theme park. However, moving Disney World to another state has been
Imagine taking apart all the rides and then put them on a U-Haul and start shipping them.
Floated before. Disney is using drones to be secretive about purchasing this land. They are pulling a trick out of Walt Disney's playbook when he bought land for Disney World. When Walt purchased the land, he bought it under fake names to avoid being detected to prevent the acre price from rising.
So next thing you know, they do buy land, and then I have to come back here and apologize.
They are now using a similar strategy where the drones are surveying the land and are being used as a distraction. While everyone is focused on the drones, Disney bought up thousands of acres of land under fake business names for cheap. Now they have a plot of land to build Disneyland New Jersey or move
Disneyland New Jersey. It kind of has a good ring to it. Who's ready for Disneyland New Jersey? Fuzz?
Disney World up there. Both are viable options, and only time will tell which dream becomes a reality. For more on Disney flying drones in New Jersey, click the link in our bio or visit mousetrapnews.com.
The crazy thing is that he got a lot of views here, man. Like, there's a lot.
So the drones are coming from the inside of the ocean.
After seeing 50 of them come off the ocean.
Advised after we made contact with that officer that there were 50.
Once again, we're reacting to video. This is video reaction. 100% legal, YouTube.
That came off the ocean. 50? 50. That was my reaction also. There were 50 that were coming off the ocean.
And this is a sworn officer.
A sworn officer, yes. We contacted state police. We contacted the FBI. We contacted the officer that there were.
If there's 50 of them and they're buzzing like that, it's not a sworn officer. It's a swarm officer. Dum-dum-dum.
50 that came off the ocean. 50? 50. That was my reaction also. There were 50 that were coming off the ocean.
And this is a sworn officer.
A sworn officer, yes. We contacted state police. We contacted the FBI. We contacted the Coast Guard, at which point the Coast Guard went out with their boat, and they reported seeing 13 following their boat. And then the Coast Guard also advised that they went over them about 300 feet and had a wingspan of about 8 feet.
Right here. Did I see the same thing that officer saw?
I love that when drones cry. This is totally real right here. Totally real. Totally real, man. Totally real right there. Picture right there.
Blessed be our new founding fathers.
Oh, don't tell me to play music. Stop the music. TikTokers, you don't have to play shitty music on top of all your stuff, man.
You guys see this? What the hell? What is that, Mom? Ma, you see this?
No. Holy shit.
What
What
is-
the hell is that?
What is happening? You guys see this? What the hell? What is?
That's some bad acting, man. It doesn't even sound like from New Jersey. Supposed to be New Jersey drones. Right? How is that New Jersey? It's not even a New Jersey accent.
What is that, Mom?
Should it be like, Mom, you seeing this?
What?
Ma, you see this?
No. Holy shit.
What
What
is-
the hell
Holy shit, Lewis. What is this?
is that?
That's
What
the
is
way it should
happening?
sound, right?
You guys see this? What the hell? What is that, Mom?
What?
Ma, you see this?
No.
It's a California
Holy
accent.
shit.
What
What
is-
the hell is that?
Right,
What
Joel?
is happening?
Jalissa?
You guys see this? What the hell? What is that, Mom?
What?
Ma, you see this?
No. Holy shit.
What
What
is-
the hell is that?
What is happening? You guys see this? What the?
So dumb.
So the drones
The White House is now blaming the White.
Well, it's sure starting to look like the New Jersey drone mystery has been solved. Earlier this week, I posted a video about the mysterious drones being spotted in the airspace
This is Alex Hoolings 52. Thanks for the video. We're reacting to it.
over New Jersey and the surrounding area, and how they seem to coincide with the establishment of a drone testing corridor between New Jersey and Delaware that was announced a year ago by the National Aerospace Research and Technology Park. And I'm here today to tell you that I was wrong. It's important to follow the evidence to where it leads in situations like this, but it's even more important that we can acknowledge when we're wrong about where we think that evidence led. So let's clear things up, because this mystery—
Oh my God. No, I
The
can't.
White House is now blaming.
Saw this one.
The White
No
House
more
is now
results?
blaming hobbyists, planes, and even the star.
Well, it's sure starting to look like the New Jersey.
Major step taken by the government in response to those.
The White House is now. $900.
We've not. Okay.
Just got off the phone with someone who was SWAT. Just got off the phone with someone who was SWAT, who flew aircrafts in the military, who currently flies
This sounds
helicopters
dirty.
for high-profile, high-security individuals. Said that the helicopters for NEST, which search for NUCLEARWs, have not left. That doesn't necessarily mean anything, because if they did leave, then we would absolutely have an answer. Said that these drones, which are in full force tonight on a crazy rainy night, that they are seemingly searching for something, possibly radiological, he said, and that drones are electric, not fuel. So we're sort of comparing them to what helicopter flights are. So still, obviously, in this volume, it's very expensive, but not like having all these private planes that are manned and operated by fuel in the air. Don't know if that helps anybody.
All right. I don't know. I think this drones thing, is it dying out? Are people over it? We're not getting answers. Are we going to get an answer? Are people just going to forget? What's going on? What do you think? Let me know in the comments real quick. I'll direct it to you. Tonight is Grayson Report. What do y'all think? Last minute questions I'll try to answer. Who got notified today? Did anyone get notified? And also, what's the deal with the bird flu in California? My God. Hey, what's up? Let me see here. I saw a drone in San Diego last Thursday around midnight. Green and red blinking lights. It was massive and quiet. Seriously, Pickletons? Hey, Mo, if you could get those pictures, man, I'd be more than happy to post them, dude. Are you buying this? Do you think this is what do you think of this entire thing, Tinkletits? I know you are open-minded. You're San Diego is among the places that they say they're showing up in, not just New Jersey. You think it's military? Why can't they just say it's military, right? By the way, thank you for being a member 21 months. You got 30 minutes before I streamed. You got the notification. It's crazy. I heard too that drone sales are through the roof. Have you all heard that? Does anyone here you can actually own a drone? All right, folks, we're going to end today's stream. I may come back tonight and see what's up. If there's any breaking news. Is my voice, is the stream breaking up? Something's weird. Don't forget, we are on Rumble as well. Thank you very much, folks. We will talk to you later. Nerd out.